If you guys end up spending hundreds if not thousands of dollars on Facebook ads with no real results, then this video might be for you. What is up, you guys? Welcome back to the channel. Welcome back to another video. So today we're going to be going over the Facebook ad strategy that I use and I think is the best one to use in 2021 and on. And I will be showing you guys step by step how to set it up. If you guys don't know me, my name is Joel and I come out with videos every single Monday covering dropshipping or branding. And mainly you guys want to focus on branding overall because that's really the only way that you guys can make money nowadays. So first off, the strategy that I'm going to be talking about is starting out with a $50 to $100 budget or CBO. And the main reason that you want to stay within this range, especially if you're a beginner, is because if you start with anything lower than this, then you're just not going to get enough data within a certain amount of time. And it's not going to give Facebook enough money to work with in order to find an audience that works for you. So ideally what you want to do within this budget is set up 5 ad sets with different interests, so 5 interests within those 5 ad sets. And then the whole name of the game with testing products is to test, and have 3 different creatives. With the only difference between these creatives is just going to be the first 3 seconds or the scroll stop. So you can see here the overall structure of a campaign, and we're going to be going into this within my Facebook Ads Manager as well. So CBO campaign, $50 to $100 a day. You want to have 5 different ad sets with 1 interest within them. Do not bunch a handful of interests into 1 ad set. We want to know exactly what interests work and what do not work. And then you want to have 3 ad creatives within each one of these ad sets with the 3 different scroll stoppers. So before you guys even jump into Facebook, you need to understand your margins and what you're going to be looking for. So understand your break-even ROAS, and I went over this in my previous video as well, but I'm going to shortly go over it as well in this video. So break-even return on ad spend is basically your fine line, and that's your product price over your product price minus your cost of goods. So anything below this will be unprofitable and anything above it will be profitable. So obviously you want to stay above your break-even ROAS. Now if you are just breaking even on Facebook ads, that's not a bad sign. That means you're just getting data for free. So let's say you set up your first CBO campaign, and what you guys need to do is wait for 3 to 4 days until you decide on whether or not to kill it or scale your product. What you need to do is come back, cut off bad creatives, and focus on one. So I say people try to test different creatives at the same time. Ideally, you just want to have one creative that's winning. That way, you're only spending money on a creative that is giving you return. And on top of that, you're getting a lot of data for that creative. And what you guys need to look for is for add to carts, purchases, initiate checkout, your ROAS, click-through rate, all that stuff. So that's going to help you determine on which creative is doing the best. So you want to shoot for a above 1% click-through rate. And the interests are the same concept, but focus on the ROAS and purchases. So obviously anything below your break-even ROAS, you can cut off the ad set. And then anything above it, you can let it keep running. And then the second step, and this is very important, that you wait and give Facebook enough time to really process data. And you need to wait after 5 days. As you cut off and keep running interests, you can keep testing new audiences. And this is especially going to be essential when you're scaling your product or when interests just run out or have ad fatigue. So you just need to have new interests coming in over and over, so you have new audiences to give Facebook in order to find new customers. So if an interest is at your profit target ROAS or above, you can scale it, and ideally you want to have 5+ sales within that ad set. And the best way that you guys can determine your profit target ROAS, and I'll put it in the description down below, but it's a KPI profit target spreadsheet. And I'll put that down in the description below and also in the comment section so you guys can use that. But you can basically just put in your cost of goods and stuff, and it'll automatically tell you what your break-even ROAS is and then what your target ROAS should be. So for the second step, this is when you're in that scaling phase. Let's say you find a very profitable ad set. And you can see here I have home decor, and that's mainly because obviously the product that we use in the example was a levitating plant. So let's say this interest did exceptionally well. All you guys got to do is take that interest in the testing campaign and duplicate it 4 times into a completely new campaign with a budget anywhere from $100 to $500 a day. And at this point, when you're profiting, you definitely want to invest more into ads, especially in the scaling phase, because the more that you invest, especially if you know a audience is winning, you're going to be giving Facebook a lot more data to work with, or a lot more people to work with in order to find new customers. So you duplicate it 4 times, and then you use that winning creative and then use it within each one of these ad sets. So when you guys are scaling the product within that campaign, you want to scale it anywhere from 20 to 30% a day. Any more than that, like 50, 60%, you're just going to be killing the optimization for Facebook. That's going to be bad for your pixel, so don't do that. Basically how Facebook works is you have like a really nice pool or audience of people. So when you run these ads and you just constantly pump a big budget into them, it's going to ruin the optimization, and Facebook's going to try and find a different pool or audience of people that aren't really that profitable as the one before. So the same concept for testing interests is the same as scaling. So kill ad sets that perform bad and then let others run. So the big third step after this, and this is only after 7 to 10 days, usually by this time you'll have enough data on your pixel to start running lookalike audiences. So you want to start running lookalike audiences because these specifically are going to be doing very well. And this is because when you create a custom audience, let's say you collect the people that watch 95% of your video, and then there's like 1,000 of them. What Facebook will then do when you create a lookalike is find other people that are related to that custom audience. So they're going to find people that are most likely to watch 95% of your videos that haven't done so yet. And there's a bunch of lookalike audiences that perform very well when you create them, like purchases, add to cart, initiate checkout, website visitors, Facebook engagement, etc. Now, obviously, you want to wait till you get a certain amount of data for each of these. So, video views 1,500 to 2,000, purchases, add to cart, you need to wait till 200 to 500. So this will just give Facebook enough data to figure out exactly who to target. So for the very last step, the 4th step, and this is only after 3 to 4 weeks of you running ads, and ideally, I'd say even 5 weeks or so, because by this time you'll have a ton of data, and Facebook will really just be able to go out and find customers on its own without really you trying to target anything. So what you guys can do is actually go broad. This is where you only target the top 5 countries: USA, Canada, New Zealand, Australia, United Kingdom. And these countries are very large in aspect, and when you try and test worldwide or all these different smaller countries out there that don't really have good traffic, you're going to be seeing a lower conversion rate. So all you guys need to do is create a campaign around these countries, and do not put any interest within that campaign or ad sets, and then use your best creative. So, and this is the same concept as well. Anywhere from $100 to $500, ideally $400 to $500, because these audiences are very large and broad. So Facebook is going to be able to just go out and find customers within these countries, and that's because your Facebook pixel by this time, it's very seasoned, it has a lot of data, so Facebook knows exactly what it's looking for. And what's cool about these audiences is that you can scale so very high because the audiences are so big. You don't really have to worry about audience or creative fatigue, where your audience sees your ad over and over again, they just get tired of seeing it and they don't click on it or convert. So it's really just like a set it and let it run campaign, and you don't really have to worry about it. So this is definitely the step that you guys want to be in. So right now we're in my Facebook Ads Manager, and the first thing that you guys need to do is go to your business settings. So to find your domains or to add a new domain, all you guys got to do is go to your business settings, and then you want to go all the way down to brand safety, and then you'll see domains here. So you can go ahead and click on that, and then from here you can add your own domain. So just make sure it's correct and everything. Then after you add it, you can go on to the next part. And what we're going to do is actually verify our domains, as well as add aggregated events to our business manager. And really, with the new iOS 14 updates, these are going to be essential with every store that you guys set up, or at least with every pixel that you set up. So with this pixel, you can see that I verified my domain, and all you guys got to do is copy and paste the txt file, or the link. So you go ahead and copy that, and you want to go to your Shopify store, go down to domains and add a txt file. All you got to do is copy and paste that link into there. And when you go back to the actual ads manager, when you click verify domain, it's probably going to say it's not verified yet. So I'd give it anywhere from 10 to maybe 15 minutes or so, and then come back and see if it's verified. So the next thing after we get that done, what we can do next, and then we can add the aggregated events. And these are just the events that you want to test for on your Pixel, or gather data for rather. And they're going to be the most important events that you want to capture. So obviously you want to add purchases. Next thing you can add is the initiate checkout or add to cart. And then we can set the budget to $50, anywhere from $50 to $100. And then we always want to set our campaigns or ad sets to start the next day at 12 a.m. only because we want to get the most amount of data on a daily basis as possible. And then here, this is where you can add the different countries that you want to target. So mainly I target United States, Canada, United Kingdom, New Zealand, Australia. These countries still prove to be the best converting ones, and if you target worldwide, you're just going to get bad traffic. Honestly, you'll get cheap traffic, but it won't convert. So I mean, if you're going to do that, you can also exclude these bad countries. Like if you exclude, usually like Brazil, Argentina, these countries I specifically get false pixel fires for. I'm not completely sure why, but I usually exclude those if I'm going to target worldwide. And then here you can add the languages. So obviously we're targeting English people or English speaking people. And for manual placements, you really don't need to touch this. I would just keep it automatic. Now, if your product specifically caters to, Android users, you can target them, or iOS users, target them, but we want to keep it broad. So here you can see 7-day click. Any product that you sell that is $50 or below, just keep it at that. And if it's a high ticket product above $50, then you can set it to 1-day click. And then here you can see we're choosing our pixel. And then for this specific ad set, I already set the actual interest that we're going to be targeting. So we're going to be targeting home decor, and that's because we're selling the levitating plant. So obviously you want to target an interest that is related to it. And then here we're actually creating the ad. Now I already got a video for this specific product. I just found it on AliExpress. Obviously you don't want to just copy and paste videos from Ali. You want to go ahead and create your own creatives, whether that's on like InShot or some other video editor. But really you just want to keep it simple for your descriptions in your ad. You don't want something that's complicated and hard to read. You got to understand that most people are here just to only watch the video, so any text should be minimal. And you can just mention like your logo or your slogan, and then free shipping, or like free shipping, premium quality. Now what I do sometimes is go to emojicopy.com, and if you want to use like a star emoji in your product ad, then you can do that as well. I usually just do that to just put it next to my logo so it looks like you can see the reviews for the product. And then you can add your website URL. Obviously this is going to be the direct product page of your product, not the home page. And then after we create the ad in this specific ad set, we want to convert it over to a existing post. And the reason why we want to do this is because we want to keep up with the same like shares, reactions, likes on the same video. And if we were to just not use it as an existing post and just create an ad individually for every single ad set, then it's going to be treated as a new ad. It's going to have a new ad ID. So Facebook it's just going to get different shares, likes, and engagement. So we want to keep the ad the same. So you can go ahead and just do that for the 3 creatives that you do. Just rinse and repeat. And here we just duplicate the rest of the ad sets. That way we aren't wasting any more time. So let's say you want to set up your columns for your ads manager. This is very important because this is really the only way that you guys can keep up with your metrics and data and to see if your product is profitable or not. So there's really a handful of things that we need to add to our columns. So first off is add to cart. And then link clicks was already added. Then we add purchases, initiate checkout. And then the frequency, which is basically how often people see your ads. And we add the video views, so 50, 75, 95%. And the link click-through rate, we want that to see how our ads are doing. And obviously the higher the click-through rate, the better for the ad. So usually you want to shoot for around 1% or above. And then you want to save these columns. Now let's say we wanted to scale this specific product or the interest, the winning interest. All you guys got to do is to duplicate the winning ad set into a new scaling campaign, and you need to duplicate it 3 times. So in total you need to have 4 different ad sets, and then you need to have a budget of anywhere from, I'd say, $200 to at least around $400 to $500 or so. And with this budget, you're just giving Facebook enough room to find a good audience for you. And you can see here in the lookalike section, when you create a custom audience, let's say around 95% video viewers, you can go in here, create a custom audience. Let's say you have a creative that has like around 2,095% video viewers. So here we create the custom audience. video views, Facebook engagement, website visitors. There's just a handful of lookalike audiences that you guys can use. And once we save that audience, after it populates and stuff, it'll usually take, I think, like 5 minutes or so, but it'll populate, and then you can create a lookalike audience for it. And you can see here I have 5 different audiences, and usually I'd say around 1 to 2 to 3%, that's going to be the most related to your custom audience, and higher ones like 7 to 10%, they're going to be more unrelated to your audience. But it's just Facebook giving you a good amount of data and audiences to test, so you definitely want to test those. And same thing, you know, you take those 5 different audiences, put them in 5 different ad sets, and then test them, and it's just rinse and repeat, same way that we guys do the interest. And let's say we want to go broad, right? So it's very simple to set up a campaign. All you guys got to do, you're gonna have around 4 different ad sets, and you want to have a budget that is decently high, anywhere from $200 to $500 at least, similar to a scaling campaign. And at this point, your Facebook pixel is going to have enough data. To really just scale to the moon. So you don't need to put any interest in your Facebook ads at all, and just target the country alone. So here you can see I just have United States. Don't touch anything else. Just put your winning creative within this ad set, and then you just rinse and repeat with the next 3 to 4 ad sets, depending on which countries you decide to target. Usually I don't target United Kingdom that much. I don't know why, I just don't get that good of conversions, but obviously it's going to depend on what product you're trying to sell. So you just need to test everything. Usually I'll group together like Australia and New Zealand just to make the population size a little bit bigger. Other than that, guys, I hope you enjoyed the video and got some value out of it. If you did, make sure you like down below and comment, and make sure you guys subscribe. I come out with videos every Monday, so I'll see you guys next time.